Hi everybody, Jesse Fewell here with the latest edition of Morning Fuel, where I have my morning coffee with you guys, sharing latest thoughts of the day. And the thought that's on my mind this morning that I want to share with you is that the problem is not the problem. The problem that you're dealing with, that you're struggling with, that you're having is not the underlying issue that's going on when it comes to teamwork and collaboration, when it comes to organizational structure and organizational fluidity. And this is a pattern that I'm seeing with a lot of my colleagues with respect to it's just so frustrating that I do lots of really good work. I did this document, I got everything taken, and then it totally undermined what I was doing, and it went and he updated the document, and it was very frustrating, and they don't understand it. Whoa, chill. Okay, what's really going on here? And sometimes I'll have a conversation with one project manager. We're frustrated with like rework and duplication of work, people overstepping their toes, and come to find out the real issue was a lot of ambiguity about roles and responsibilities. That was the underlying issue. And so if you find yourself really struggling and there's a lot of conflict, it might be that you need to stop and take a look at 3 steps to figure out what the real problem is, because the problem is not the problem. So step number 1, I recommend when you're struggling and you got conflict going on, is initiate a conversation. It happens all the time where I see people like, you did this, then you did, and they're having this big like galactic feud over email. No, stop, chill, take a breath, walk down the hall, knock on the door and say, hey, how's it going? What's going on? I thought we were on the same page about the assignments, and I'm seeing a lot of crisscross going on. I just wanted to come and just figure out what's going on. And when you do that, and at that point you've initiated a conversation, good job. Now I want you to stop, listen, and read between the lines. Read between the lines, because as we said, the problem that you're dealing with is probably not the problem that's going on. And so they might come back, well, you forgot to mention policy number 42, and that's really important, so we need to add that in there. And then when you're listening, you start noticing that there's some agitation and there's some frustration. And you start picking up a little bit more than the actual technical content of the disagreement. And you can start, well, I'm sensing here that you're really frustrated and agitated. Is it something that I did? No, I'm frustrated because we got all this lack of leadership direction on what we're supposed to do in this project. Oh, okay, well, you know what? I actually kind of agree with you. Maybe if we had a little bit more clarity on the direction we're supposed to go, we wouldn't have a lot of duplication of work, and we wouldn't feel like we're throwing around back and forth. And so that might be the beginnings of what's going on. So number 1, initiate a conversation. Number 2, read between the lines. But sometimes if you're reading between the lines, you might take it personal. You might see some like folded arms, and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? I'm reading between the lines, and I'm sensing everyone's out to get me. And it can be easy to fall into that trap. So number 3, once you have the conversation, read it between the lines, put yourself in their shoes. Put yourself in your colleague's shoes, in your adversary's shoes, and start asking, what's driving them? Why are they pushing back on this new change that we're trying to put out? Why are they pushing back on my ideas? And you might find that they're feeling a little bit threatened, that their job might be at stake because of the new merger, or you might find that they're really frustrated about the new 8 o'clock stand-up meeting, which means that they can't be getting their kids to daycare at the right time. Or you might find that there's really some other motivation going on once you stop and you listen and you think about things from their perspective. A lot of times people are they're frustrated about one topic, and that where they're not having their professional needs met, or they're not being understood properly, and they'll manifest that frustration and that conflict in a different context. This is something that I learned a lot in counseling. Whenever you've had conflict with another party, many times you find that the problem is not the problem, that there's something else going on, and I want you to slow down and let go of all the details that you've been struggling with. And number one, initiate a conversation. Number two, when you're having that conversation, read between the lines, because remember, the problem is not the problem. And then number three, as you're having that, put yourself in the shoes of the people around you. That's the tip that I got for this morning. That's something that's been on my mind. Hopefully it'll help you get a little bit of perspective in the work that you're doing. Until then, until next time, I'll talk to you next time.